Well, good morning to each and every one of you all. Just a brief sort of like interruption of your peace and serenity. We're going to say our morning prayer, which is our Serenity Prayer. And then we will give you a few more minutes of silence so you can enjoy this here until the sun actually comes up. And then we'll officially start our vlog. To each and every one of you, thank you very much for joining us this morning. It's a pleasure to have you with us here on the rock for another live sunrise. You are actually awakening in Barbados. You are watching the sunrise in Barbados, so you can brag to all your friends at work today if you're not here and say, I was in Barbados this morning enjoying a live sunrise. All right, so we're going to say our Serenity Prayer, and then we're going to take a couple more minutes of quietness till the sun comes up a little more. But let's test your local knowledge. Let's see which of you all can tell us where we are. Also, let us know where you are in this world watching this morning. Remember, if you're liking what you're seeing, a thumbs up is greatly appreciated. It gives us an indication that we're doing something you're enjoying. If you do not like what you're saying, don't worry about anything about no thumbs up or anything else. Just leave it at that. Just don't do anything. And if you'd like to say good morning to us in words and stuff, we would appreciate it. Remember, there are a lot of people on here this morning that would like to hear good morning from you. So even although you don't know who is on, it's nice just to spread your love. And we do that all the time. Doesn't matter who we're around. Right now, there's 16 of you watching this here. You are known as the EMC Live Warriors. That's because you give us the energy, the inspiration, and the encouragement to do what we're doing. All right, so test your local knowledge. But in the meantime, we say our Serenity Prayer, and we give you a couple more minutes till the sun actually rises. All I can say is, surfers, get your boards out ahead to the East Coast, because as you can clearly see from this outside reef, if you know where we are, the East Coast is going to have an incredible swell today. Anywhere from Ragged Point right around should have a really good surf today. So get out your boards. And our Serenity Prayer as we're greeting the blessings of a new day, the promises of another day. To any of you who woke in this morning, you have been blessed with life. So make the best of it that you possibly can. Go to bed tonight knowing that you've done the best that you could to be your best version of yourself. Our Serenity Prayer now. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Your will, not ours, be done. Amen. See you back in a couple of moments' time. All right, so most of you may be familiar with this markings. If you're not, we're going to explain to you where we are this morning. Good morning to each and every one of you all. It is an absolutely gorgeous morning. You all can sort of like thank my wife for this vlog this morning, because my intentions are to do, or were to do, a 4K resolution of some hidden beaches, which I'm still going to do. I'm just going to take a little while to charge up after this here, but she said she wanted to watch a live vlog this morning because she want to wake up in Barbados. As you all know, she's not here at the moment, but she will be back soon. She is here in her spirit and in my heart. That's 100% guaranteed. But this is what she wanted. So this morning we're doing something a little bit different. We're starting from a location that we've only done from once before. We've done in this general, well, twice before. We've done in this general area quite a few times, but where we're going to do this morning is a section of what we've done before, but we're starting at where the signal drops completely out. So where we are is right on that border, and hopefully you're getting a clear resolution, because I really want you to be enjoying this beautiful, beautiful sunrise with us. I don't know if you know where we are. I'm going to do a quick 360. Well, sorry, circle of love, because I'm going to do it quietly. And the last part of the circle of love will most definitely tell you where we are, even if you're not too sure right now. However, check those bands on that outer cloud. Let me, before I make this turn, let us explain to you what I am sensing right now. Absolute peace, tranquility, and serenity. I have sat down here for the last, now it's 12 minutes and 38 since you've been on. I've sat here for the last 20 minutes just enjoying the pre-dawn. I didn't want to start too early because then we would have had people come on here, see the dark screen, and then go off not knowing what was following. So we started a little bit later. But where I've been right now, I am absorbing nothing but heavenly feelings. There's a very light wind. It's varying from all different directions, but extremely light. There are no gusts. Perfect conditions for the East Coast. As you can see in the outside reef where we are, there's a swell coming through. That only is generated when there's a good swell. So you wouldn't get the outside reef break unless there's a good swell. Not that it's huge, but it should be a really nice and fun swell. Maybe Foul Bay could be for the right tide. Ragged Point, Coles Road, anywhere going around that area. Outside reef of Martins Bay may have something on today. The conditions are good for that. Then of course Soup Bowl, High Rock Parlour, they all should have a nice swell this morning. Mainly Soup Bowl, Sandbar, and again of course Zedland. Anywhere in the south and southeast should have a nice little surf boat swell this morning. So if you're here in the island like surfing, you know what to do, wax up, make your way out. Alright, so we can take our turn. As you can see, the sun is rising quickly. The bands are becoming visible on the screen. As I said, hopefully our resolution this morning is good. The signal looked really good at this point. I walked around here just to make sure that we're going to bring you something hopefully good. And we hope, hopefully, again, a lot of hopefullys, that will happen. But remember, we are practicing our serenity. We are doing everything that we possibly can to bring you the beauty of Barbados, to actually teleport you here to enjoy this beauty with us. So get ready for it. I'm going to take that 360 now. Here we go. I should say a circle of love. Here we go. Get your landmarks. Make your comments in the comment line. We will check them later. I can't see them now, but we'll have a look at them later and see who guessed it right. Here we go. And now we're going to watch this sunrise here in a moment. Alright, so if you have not guessed where we are at 𝐷𝐿𝐴. We're just to the west of actual 𝐷𝐿𝐴. This is 𝐷𝐿𝐴 directly here. Don't worry, I'm watching the sun so we can get back there. This is 𝐷𝐿𝐴. I don't want to go any closer because I know signal drops considerably. We're right now picking up from a good tower just to the west of us, or the west and slightly north of us. So we're not going any closer, but as you can see, conditions today are beautiful. It is a low tide. It's coming into low. Low is around 8:30 this morning. So right now it's relatively low. You see there's a lot of sand on the inside section here. We're going to come back and focus now on the sunrise for you. Let it do its own focusing in and start to hopefully get everything good for you. The contrast and stuff. Then the camera do that this morning itself automatically. We're on a live, so there's not much control we have over what we can do. Alright, we always talk about the dangers of 𝐷𝐿𝐴. And this is a good time to tell you right now. It would probably be better if it was high tide, because all of these surges that you're seeing hitting this outer reef here would have been coming over at the higher tide and would have gone in on the beach itself. So that is what is the problem with out here. When there are large swells, the amount of water that comes in, or amount of gallons and tonnage of water that comes in over this reef and through the mouth above, comes into actual 𝐷𝐿𝐴 and will pull you back out. Let's go back to sunrise, talk a little bit more about that. We could talk about it, but we'll show you what we're talking about in a minute. So this is an extremely dangerous place to come and swim. A lot of people come here. The locals in the area will come here most mornings, if not every morning, and dip on the inside section, but they're aware of the danger, so you won't see them coming out into where the actual current starts to pull from. It is a beautiful morning. I'm seeing some people on here. Good morning, Star Girl 246 with her spanner. Good morning to you and Steve and Karan. I see those three names up at the moment. I don't see anyone else, so forgive me if you're not being called. Doesn't mean that I don't love you. It doesn't mean that I don't want to tell you good morning. It just is they're the only things that are coming up on the screen. Remember, we have a delay on the video itself for you all. So when you were commenting on a party video, that's actually happening after the fact. So therefore, I'm not seeing it if it bottles up. As it is right now, that is great. If not, it will just fly on by. As it's now gone, everybody's disappeared. What a beautiful, beautiful sunrise. Sorry we couldn't zoom in, but we don't mess around with the zoom when we're doing lives. We just leave it alone and we enjoy what we can see, doing the best that we can. You see the sets are coming in the outside on the outer reef. They're breaking. It's not huge, they said, but you can see from the swell that's coming here just before it hits the bar that there's a positive swell running. So Mr. Surfologists, Hydrologists, and everyone else, watch out your boards ahead to the east, please. Don't mix sport. Don't miss out on this today. It's looking like a lovely, lovely day. All right, sun's still not quite up, but you're probably seeing all of those bands on the upper edges of the cloud, and underneath you're seeing the cracking of the sun on the horizon itself. It's a beautiful morning. Good morning to Reg, who is probably taking his photos down by Ocean City. We'll have them up later today. This is what he's enjoying all the time. Different foreground scenery, but same kind of sunrises. It's a gorgeous morning. It is getting more beautiful by the second. I'm really hoping that this resolution is clear for you, because this is spectacular. And although I would love to give you the 4K, there's nothing like having you actually walking with me and seeing numbers coming up on your screen and knowing the energy and the love that's coming with those numbers. Thank you to those that gave that the thumb up. If you're finding our channel right now and you did not knowing about us, or if you're finding us on here just because you were on the net looking, and although you're subscribed, you don't have on your alerts, please do that for us. Subscribe, step 1. Turn your alert, step 2, because we can come up at any time. This morning I gave you a little heads up on Facebook, YouTube, and also on Instagram that we were coming up with a vlog this morning. However, the time was not indicated because I was not sure where we were going. And of course, depending on where you're going, the island, you're going to have different times. If we were going on the west coast this morning, we would not have started till probably around 6:15 or so, when it started to get brighter down there. Remember, they don't see a sunrise on the west coast, they see a daybreak, which is spectacular as the shadows disappear on the sides of boats and replaced by glows of the rising sun. However, we are witnessing the actual rising sun this morning, and it is so, so beautiful. Stunning. Now, if my co-star was here with me, I say my co-star, because that's the role she plays on this, but I can't tell you she's the boss. I can only say that I respect her tremendously. If my wife was here this morning, she'd be snapping some glorious shots. Unfortunately, we don't have that facility this morning. We're running with one camera. Remember, we lost a camera a little while ago due to pressure lines in it. But we are running with what we have, and we're very blessed and grateful for everything that we have. We have reached a point of contentment as long as we're able to bring you how we're feeling, let you know about what we're experiencing, which we'll talk a little bit more about. That is what we're doing. We just want to bring you to Barbados. If you're in Barbados this morning, you're rushing to go to work, this is what is outside. So you know, anytime you get an off day, come out and enjoy a sunrise such as this. It's going to get really bright now, so we're going to move from off direct sunrise in a second. We're just going to let you see it in its fullness. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. You can see how lovely these swells are coming through here. I mean, they're definitely coming through with a nice thickness, so I'm sure it's got to be beautiful down on the east side of the island, or further over on the east, I should say. All right, that's it for the sunrise, because it's going to start getting glary and bright now. Let's go back to Shark Hole. All right, we're not going to go too close, as I said. We're just going to go here to the edge. I was here earlier on talking about it to myself, of course, because I warm up in the morning. Don't think I come on a vlog and start talking to you all. Now, I have to go through jaw and mouth and lip exercises from early, and also breathing control to get myself ready to talk to you all. On Saturday, we did 1 hour and 56 minutes. I barely talked a little bit on that. Don't mind. My wife was telling me I was non-stop talking for 156. I would like to think that we had a lot of quiet intervals you could enjoy Serenity. All right, so Shark Hole, if you're not sure to find here, it can get a little difficult sometimes. We're just to the west of St.Lawrence Castle. All right, we call it St.Lawrence Castle. We're not changing name. The St.Lawrence Castle is what we're going to call it. So we're just west of St.Lawrence Castle. However, if you're leaving St. Lawrence, when you're driving towards the direction bridge down the long straight, as soon as you come to the junction that will turn right and take you, so you're going to Bottom Bay, etc. Just after that, there is a junction on your left. So you're going to need to take that there. And then there's some little wheeling and turning down in here. I can't really tell you all the lefts and rights from now, but you can find it from there. So as you know where that is, or you know where St. Lawrence is, you can find it quite comfortably from there. It does take a little bit of driving around in the neighborhood here because there's some cul-de-sacs and stuff that may trick you. But this is the beach that you will find up here. Sometimes a year it's a little bit bigger. However, down in here, there's tremendous amount of sand. All the sand is being pulled off of the beach, so that will either get driven up or pulled further out into the water. You know, we've experienced the tropical conditions this year that have made some impacts and changes to the beaches, out of seasonal changes, I should say, because of the early hurricane that we had, Beryl, that passed just to the south of the island and caused tremendous damage to our coastline. Someone has a lovely chair on the other side here. I'm not sure if this property is up for rental. You can always check that out. I don't see people in it all year round, so it may be up for rental, or maybe people that just come here on their periodically. I don't really can't say I see people here all year round. I may be wrong there, but that's from what I have observed from coming up here. Parking just on the above section up there, and then you can walk around. However, the main parking area is just behind here in the pasture, behind this house. If it's available, I should say, because sometimes up here can be fairly wet. I came to the driest parish this morning. I found the most rain. So all you Philippines, you must be happy this morning because you got some rain. But beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So the dangers here are the water comes over this outer reef here, or through the above small channel. As you can see it coming through there. You can see the foam coming through. You can see where the reef is getting exposed now as the water really pulls back. You can see that's the main area that most of the water will come in, where the lower reef is. And as it comes around here, it gets higher and higher and higher. What happens is all the tonnage of water and all the gallons, thousands of gallons of water come in to this bay here. And then what happens, they will pull out. As the water starts to go out, it will pull you along this cliff area here and back out into that ocean there. So the danger is that if you do not know exactly where to stand in here and you go too far out, you're going to get caught in that rip current that's going to be running across the cliff. The next exit from out here I will show you shortly, but you don't want to experience that out there in the water for sure. All in front of here, great snorkeling, also scuba diving just off of the bar itself. Absolutely beautiful. But as you can see in here, it's not too turmoily right now, and that's because it's a very low tide, and most of the surge and power of those surges are again trapped on the outside, and as it's coming over in foam, it's not really having any kind of intensity that it normally would. However, good morning. Boy, I was just talking about how all the locals up here know this place well, but how dangerous it is. Sorry this morning. Let me turn on this microphone so if anyone can hear, we hear a little bit of you, because with the microphone, the way you got it, you're not hear it too well. How are you going? You well? Well, we just finished thanking the Lord for it and praying. So it's a beautiful morning. It's very dangerous. I was telling people, if you don't know exactly where to stand here and you get caught in that rip current that goes around there, that you're in trouble.
So we try to avoid this area here.
Correct. Absolutely correct. Right. So the water comes in and then runs just in front of you here, kind of thing. Yep. Well, you keep safe and enjoy life. Thanks so much for sending your cheer, your smile, and your love radiated through here. We'll be running live on YouTube right now. You too, my dear. Have a wonderful day. Thank you. Okay. That's beautiful interaction immediately with one of the residents from the area. As you can see, she has just told you, I don't know if you can hear, but I'm going to reiterate what she was saying. She was saying that you do not go outside and near this point or here because you will get pulled by the current down the line. However, she also exercises serious caution down here because you do see surge going in. Water is obviously coming out. So the bigger it gets, the more water comes in and the more water has to go out and work its way along the cliff. Thanks very much. Have a blessed day, okay? Thank you. All right, so I told you I was up here sitting down for 20-something minutes on here because I was putting the camera in location and I didn't want the tripod to drop over. So I took a seat. I thought it was going to be a merry seat. I thought I picked out a soft spot. As you all know, I am an Olympian. I am built with absolute massive structure, but my sitting area is not that great. So I'm not the typical Bajan that could come out here and sit down and feel nothing. So when I was sitting down this morning, this is what I was sitting on. Not comfortable at all, but it's what we do to bring the beauty of Barbados to you. This is why we emphasize about wearing your hikers when you're coming to Barbados. Now, I've seen people walk across here bare feet. You're Bajans, of course. And also our hard foot surfologists, he would do it as well. However, out here is not in this immediate area because this is well trodden, as you can see. Look at the white break-offs of the coral. This will indicate to you that this area is walked a lot. You can see all these snaps of where the weaker coral would have been and people have stepped. So that is what that is. It's not, we have not color-coded it for you to give you an impressive display. This is actually broken coral. So you're seeing all the edges here probably hit with a rock, hit with rocks, I should say. Here we go. Look, this gives you a perfect example. So this is what happens. So you can be walking across here. This could be someone just stepping on it. You could be walking across here. This would have been up in the air. Ooh, that hurt. She's on. All right, let me show you a little something here. Don't fool around up here on this cliff, all right, because you're going to get cut. You see how sharp it is? That was a good demonstration. I didn't mean to demonstrate it that way, but I will show you. So no pain, no gain. Anyhow, this is where this would have come from. That's how that would have looked. As you stepped on top of that, that would have snapped away. Remember, don't mess around in these cliffs. It is not that good. It is very, very, very sharp over here. Razor sharp. But it's all right though, because I will find some seawater on this cliff here. I'll put my finger in it for a minute and we'll burn it, and then we'll get on to our next move. All right, so all these little white things here you're seeing is snapped off coral. This is the dangers of walking on coral cliffs. Not only is it sharp, but it's also fairly fragile in some areas, especially this kind of cliff area up here. You can see, again, another broken section here. So you want to be careful when you're doing walks up here on these cliffs. You don't want to be coming across here, hopping, skipping, and jumping. That's number one. And number two is you don't want to be wearing slippers, because you will get thrown on your butt in a hurry, because you will get tripped up out here for sure. If you're wearing software, yeah, you could get away with that. The usual kind of software, which has just little streaky patterns on the sole, just to keep you sort of like good on wetter areas. You could get away with that, but not if you're doing some serious walking around out here. I recommend, again, hikers all the time. When you're doing cliffs in Barbados, you want hikers. Protect your ankles, protect your feet. Maybe you could bring some gloves too, because evidently you need to protect your fingers as well. All right, so water forces its way along here, runs all along this cliff. As you can see, this cliff actually is eaten out under it. So it's not a case of swimming up the cliff and climbing up the cliff. Doesn't happen, not here, because it's overhangs or cliffs over the cliffs, as you can see. All underneath here has been eaten out from the continuous pounding of surfing conditions and sea conditions and weathering. So there's no coming out. If you get caught in here, right now, this is not a great display of the currents because it's low tide. So we're getting a lot of just movement and stuff here. But normally if you drop a stick in the water here, you would be surprised how fast it will make its way in that direction, because that is the escape for all the water from Shark Hole. So if you're coming to Shark Hole to take your pictures, if you're coming to Shark Hole to cool off, please exercise absolute caution. Remember, caution, you don't want to walk too close to this cliff because it can snap, as I've shown you many examples of that. And also caution, that's only for taking pictures. Then it's obviously the extreme caution if you're swimming, because in here, this is an extremely dangerous place, and we don't want to let you think that it's calm and peaceful and beautiful all the time. It's certainly not that way. So you don't know when it's going to be that way unless you're very knowledgeable and you have your wave charts and stuff that you're checking. So be careful when you come up here, please. Don't have a memory that is going to keep in, with you forever. That's the worst and most unpleasant one that you probably ever experienced. Beautiful this morning though. All right, again, we're going to be walking right along the cliff. We have good signal from here to the war wagon. So what we're going to do this morning, well, according to the charts, however, we have seen in recent times that we have had signal issues everywhere. So it's not just where it's good that you're getting, you can get good signal or you can get bad signal. Beautiful homes up here. Every home up here is going to take weathering, severe weathering. You can get the pounding of the sea spray every day, 24 hours a day. You don't see it blowing across here, but trust me, there's sea spray up here. You will find air conditioners, just like over on the other sides of the East Coast in Bajan, air conditioners and fridges and TVs not lasting long at all. So if you're a person that likes your electronics, you'll be looking for continuous maintenance on them. You're also going to look for continuous maintenance on the property. A lot of people use wood, or you'll see a little further on natural coral stone that they've found and put up into walls. But you will find stainless steel bolts up here. You won't find the galvanized bolts or the usual not cast iron even, but you would usually find a lot of stainless steel used on these properties, and that is to obviously ungalvanized in some areas, but mainly stainless steel because it's strongest and has the best life in these kind of conditions. That would be most of the homes up here are I have to say, are posh homes. They are beautiful properties, and not only beautiful properties, but beautiful homes as well. The walk from that other side of, just to let you know before we go, because we're not going to do it this morning. We may do it, but it probably had been a 4K for most of it. But the walk from the other side of this cliff here goes right up in front of the beautiful homes. The homes are being constructed for hurricane designs and stuff. Extensive metal has gone into them. So much metal. The owner of the crane has a home up here. I'm not saying he lives in it, but he does a home up here, and it is so much metal and so much concrete that if you get on the other side, on the seaside of that home, you get no signal. Not that it drops, zero signal. The disruption is incredible. That will tell you the intensity of the actual structure itself. Very, very strong. All right, so beautiful again. Lovely cliff area. We want you to see as much of this as you can possibly see. You will notice there's a lot of sand on top of here. That is obviously due to the very heavy surf and stuff. A barrel that came through would have pushed sand from the bottom of Shark Hole all over the top of the cliff. So the waves out here would most definitely, based on the size that we saw on the south and the west coast, the waves out here would have been breaking into this property off of the wall. They would have been hitting this wall, going straight up in the air, maybe 30, 40 feet, and coming down somewhere in that property. So you would understand what has happened. The sand is being blown up here. We don't get usually a lot of sand up here. Last time I was up here, there was not nearly this much sandy cliff, so that would be a clear indication of that happening for sure. All right, so you can see it sharper. As you get closer to the cliff, this is a walked path. A lot of residents, fishermen and stuff will walk on this section here. You can actually see it's pretty well beaten down. However, as you get closer to the cliff, you're going to see the razor sharp coral coming in play. You've already seen it because it's done a good piece on me, but this is the razor sharp one. So you want to be real careful. The closer you get to the edge of this cliff, the sharper it's getting. I'm taking you there so you can actually see it. Bring your hikers, because your hikers will allow you to walk all over here. Software will get cut up. Software will not give you the ankle protection that you need to walk the cliffs in Barbados. I definitely recommend, if you're exploring, a pair of hikers, especially mid-cut, mid to high cut. I recommend mid because of flexibility. You want something that's going to cover your ankle itself, because you can sit down in holes out here. You would know what damage would happen if you slip into one of these coral holes and your ankle gets caught in it. No, software is not going to allow that. Hikers will definitely, software will not permit you to get the coverage you're going to need. So you're going to need the hikers, mid to high cut hikers. Good morning again to each and every one of you all. We are the Journey 246. This is what we've been doing since the 21st. Easy to remember because Earl Barrow's birthday, former Prime Minister of Barbados, the Honourable. So his birthday is 21st. We started our journey 21st, 2020. So January 21st, 2021. I'm sorry, cheese on bread. So, forgetting when the COVID was and stuff. We actually started the walks January 21st, 2021. So we are now officially 3.5 years in, or 3 years and some in. This is what we've been doing as often as we can to bring you the beauty of Barbados whenever we have the opportunity. All right, so the Shark Hole that you see from the beach, as you can see, has a clear exit here. This is where everything is going to come out. You don't want to get caught in this, as we explained before. Even if you could reach the lower shelf of this wall here, you will not be able to hold on to that and come out. It will slice you up like bamboo. If you've never got cut by bamboo skin, you don't know what I'm talking about. If you have, you will know there's no sharper knife in the world that can cut you any more than that edge of the bamboo. So if you see bamboo again, don't go picking it up, don't go breaking it off or anything like that. Bamboo grows all over the island wild. You don't want to be picking bamboo up. That's another thing we don't normally see, but you'll see it more in the country areas. It will cut you up like a knife. So a broken piece of bamboo, don't touch the bamboo, period, unless you have on gloves. That is my recommendation to you. All right, so we're going to take the track as close to the edge as we can, because we brought you here for a coastal walk this morning. Again, you can see all of the sharper sections out here. But it's all right, as I said, we have on some good sturdy shoes, so it's not an issue. Just to let you see what we tell you about hikers. These are what we call the hiker. This is a strong pair, extremely strong pair. It's leather all around here, so it protects your ankle, as I mentioned before. Very strong grip pattern, does not fill up with much mud and stuff. Easy to walk in. Toes also protected as well. It's not steel toe, but gives you some protection. And as you can see, laced in comfortably and strongly. That's the kind of shoe you need to be looking for. So it doesn't make a difference the brand of shoe, as long as they're the features that you're going to find. And your own, and if you're hiking back home, you want a really good brand of shoe, because you want to last a long time, because they're not cheap. But if you are going to just come here to Barbados, it doesn't really make a difference with the brand. You just want a strong pair of shoes that will last you while you're here. Again, more of the coral heads and stuff here. You can see how razor sharp this is. I'm not making this up. This is deadly, deadly, deadly coral. All right, so we have a bench just laid out up here. We didn't stop in it. I walked right by it. But there's a bench up there you can sit on the cliff. You probably saw it in the video. If you didn't, you can always rewind it back, rewind it back, rewind it back. I don't have a reverb machine, so I have to do it my own way. All right, sound like an echo, I guess. Still some properties up here that are for sale or could be bought. I don't see for sale signs on them. But there are quite a few of them. Big properties are already owned, but I'm sure you come along the right figure, you could possibly stay up here as well and live up here. I know quite a few people that do Airbnb up here, especially in the Belair area, which we're not going to get to today, but we can talk about it a little bit. That's just down to the west of where we are. I don't know if you can make any distance, that wall down there of natural stone. That's way down. That's where we're going to stop this morning. So we have other plans for today, as we mentioned. So we're going to bring you some of this, and then we're going to bring you some of that later in 4K as well. I want to take you to 2 spots. I'm going to put, there are 4 areas. There are many more than 4 actually, but there are 4 that immediately come to mind. 2 are going to be taken in 4K today. One is a hidden beach, but the other one is a known beach. A lot of people don't go to it, although it's known. I will show you that as well, but later on in 4K. So that's something to look out for, as long as everything goes well. That was what we have plans for you for later on. Beautiful, beautiful. You can see even the wood here doesn't stand up well. You can see how it breaks. I'll show you how it starts to get really soft on the outside from the weathering of VC spray and stuff. You can see it here. It actually looks like cotton that's on it. That's actually breaking down of the wood. This tells you the kind of damage that the sea spray can create. This is going to be continuously moist. Although it's wet right now, you can understand that this will be moist all the time from sea spray. You can see how much bigger the wood was there, how much smaller the wood is here. That wasn't shaved or anything. That's how it is. It's just because it's decaying and breaking down in the areas that are more exposed to the weathering. This one here snapped right in the middle. These are strong posts, as you can see, but you see what happens to them. They just break down and weaken because of all of the weathering conditions. That's not, as you would see normally, and rotten board. That is board that you can see is being decayed from this kind of weathering. Beautiful though, lovely properties up here. As I said, I wouldn't like live up here. That's the honest truth, because I've taken many vacations on the east coast of the island, especially on the beach area, on the Calawash, Bashaba, Martins Bay, and also Bath Beach. All of them have been at. And every morning, I'm a person, can't handle the dust or anything under my feet unless it is clean. So that's just how it is. And I can have the dirtiest house in the world, but don't let me walk on dirt, because then I'm gonna have a bigger problem. So sea spray, salt content in the sea spray on the floor every morning means sweeping and mopping. That would be for me. So living out here was semi-crazy. The windows up here will have on sea spray most of the time. Again, semi-crazy. You can't look through a blur glass. I was like looking through blur glasses, optical glasses. But and so you'll understand, it would not be for me. But for many people, this is what they love. I could come here in the morning with Jeanette and we could get our serenity and peace, and then we can move on as the day starts to heat up and move away from the sea spray. That is the beauty of where we live on this island. We can go anywhere on any day in a matter of 10 or 15 minutes, 30 at the furthest point from our home, 26 minutes at 4 o'clock in the morning. Do not get out the road map and try to tell me that that's exceeding the speed limit, because I'm gonna say that I obviously have made up that 26 minutes. Let's just put it that way. All right, so from that point there, you will walk right around. You can see the first point. You can walk right around in front of all the homes here, right up to looking on the south beach at 𝐷. There's some villas up there, but there's a pathway right in front of them. You can actually walk right around and see the 𝐷 beach from there. So this whole cliff here, brilliant for hiking. Unfortunately, up there, no signal. That's why we're down in this section here, but we will tell you about the areas that we didn't get to. We do have videos up there before, but I'm sure you'll find them in fairly pixely conditions. But if you put in shark hole, you will find quite a few that were taken in the general area. Some of them not that great. Remember, we only can do what we can do. We have no control over signal strength. However, nowadays we're way more selective. We haven't covered Harry Smith's, Bottom Bay, Palmetto Bay, Kitchen Point, any of those areas because of the problems with the signal. So we haven't been out there. Very weak signals in the St. Philip area. We're getting a beautiful one here because there's a tower just behind here, and we're pretty flat from here out. As you can see, there are no homes in immediate proximity. So hopefully it's clear for you. This type of growth you're going to see, this is a small version of what I would like to tell you about. These are very pulpy. These are sort of like let me break it for you. It looks like an aloe on the inside, as you can see here. So if you step on these here, especially bigger leaves that you can find out here, and you step on them, they will pulp out on you and can throw you down. It can actually put you on the ground pretty quickly. So again, that's another thing to watch when you're walking over some of the things. Some people actually eat these here, by the way. Not me though, but I know a couple of people have tried them. Said a little bit salty, but they have tried them. And I would not advocate to try them, because I don't want you to go and get yourself in trouble with anything out here. But I do know some people have done it. Surfologist, good morning to you again. You come to mind. I don't know why. All right, so here we go. Fragileness at its best. you will understand. You step on this wrong, you are going to slip. It's going to break under your foot. See the points and stuff all around here just waiting on you. So please be wary. Don't just come out here, look at photos, look at what you're taking photos of, look at a point you're running to get to, and forget to look where you are, because trips out here are something that happens even when you're looking. So please be careful, be careful, be careful. All right, this is a hidden beach here. We're not going on it, but this is a hidden beach here, seasonal as well, partly seasonal. Sometimes a year at low tide, you will find sand here, like as you're seeing right now. Remember, low tide is at 8 something this morning. There is a little surge, so it's going up a little higher than it would at normal low tide. You can see where the troughs are. We get a little closer and look at that. But just so you will understand that that is here. There is a beach year round, but depending on the tide and depending again on the time of year as to how much sand is there, whether it is usable or not. There's also another beautiful beach just around that point there. We can do 4Ks of all these areas. That's our intention going forward, to let you see those areas as well. But there's a lovely beach just around the point, that ultimate point there you're seeing. Just up in there, there's a cove with a beach. They have steps going down to that one. The steps were destroyed numerous times by big surf, so it's possible that after Barrel they haven't been erected up again. As I said before, we haven't been in that area for a little while, but I can tell you there's a lovely beach out there, and they may have steps going to it. So again, explore Barbados. If you're coming here, you're lying on a beach, and you're doing the same thing every year, you're going to say Barbados is tired. Again, you're doing the same thing every year. Every year, you're taking in the same landscape, you're going to the same night spots, you're going to the same restaurants, etc. You're not exploring the island. You need to say, listen, I am not staying on this side of the island today. I'm going to drive to the other side. Don't even look for an island tour. Drive over to the east, spend some time maybe at 𝐊𝐈𝐿 or one of those other beautiful restaurants over there, or bar restaurants. Spend some time over there, speak to some of the locals, spend the day on the beach, and then you will experience Barbados. If you're coming here and doing an island tour and you are limited on your financial ranges and you need to do it a whole island in one day, you're not doing an island tour. You're going around the island. That is not an island tour. You need to break it down. I can tell you, you could break this down, Barbados, in 4 days of touring and comfortably still not see everything. So that's just how it is. You just can't see all of Barbados. I've been doing it for years and years and years, and there's still areas they pop up on that I say, wow, I can't remember seeing this the last 30, 40 years. So, you know, get out there and explore. All right, no way down to the beach here. However, you can see there's a beach. And as I said before, where that's breaking right now, that is where the low tide would normally come to, but there is a surge going on. When I say normally, that would be under good sea conditions, but there is definitely a surge coming in. Surfers, again, get your boards waxed up and move out. I know you have not seen me for days, so before I go any further and before people complain and say, man, I have come on here to see you, or you only, Nicholas, you just made me walk an entire cliff to see you, and I actually see you're speaking. Yes, I am here, and yes, I do love you, and yes, I welcome you in my heart and welcome you to Barbados as well. All right, we're going to move on again. All right, so explore, explore, explore. We have a map. If you have not seen our journey, the journey of Barbados, sorry, the journey 246 map, please have a look. We have it in the community section, or a link in the community section on YouTube that will take you to Shutterfly, which is the site that we have it hosted on. We also have another link, put up some links as well to our Google Cloud, which will give you the opportunity to see it. Remember, you're going to need to download that map. It is a big map, so when you download it, you can actually magnify it up quite large. It is definitely a big map, one of the biggest maps you'll find of the island. We've got it from a blank, and we put on all the places that we have visited and the names that we call them. So you might tell me, man, Nicholas, up there is not called Cove Bay. You're going to use that as a reference, because a lot of people quarrel about it. It's called Gay Cove. Well, I'm telling you it's called Cove Bay on our map because that's what we call it. Just like all the other surf breaks and the other breaks on all the other beaches on the island, we're going to call them a different name because of hotels that were located in those areas originally, or because of someone that lived in that area, or one of the surfers that were notorious for surfing that area. So you find a lot of those up there. So have a look at our map. It is intense. Remember, we have over 1,500 vlogs up on YouTube. So we've covered the entire coastline, every beach on the island. We are going to do a more in-depth on that now, because we're going to be doing some more 4Ks on the hidden beaches. Not really like this. This is a hidden beach, but this is not something that we would have brought you to as a hidden beach. We would just show you this here in one of our walks. All right, so onward we shall go. I've seen a lot of work going on in that structure directly in the center of the screen. I cannot remember the name of it offhand. Jeez, I tell you the truth, it's on the tip of my tongue, but you know what happens when that happens. It doesn't come right now. So you'll see if I remember it later. But they do rent rooms and stuff. I've seen weddings, receptions, parties at that structure, but they've done a lot of work on the actual building itself. It was looking a little bit run down. I've seen some of these construction outside section. I'll show you a little bit more about that when we get there. So up to now, you still have not been able to get up. If you were in Shark Hole and you got caught by that rip current, you're still fighting these elements, which you don't want to be, especially if it's big, because at the time you can get pulled out by the currents. So this is what you're going to be confronted with. If you're not, I wouldn't even say if you're a strong swimmer, you're fine, because if you're a strong swimmer, we have swam around here, we snorkel around here, we scuba dive around here, but it's not somewhere that I would like to be caught without any fins or anything else and being caught off guard, because you really have to be a very strong swimmer to survive in the conditions out here when they're pounding. And as you can see, shore break, it isn't easy. You will get hammered down in here as well. Don't be fooled because of our elevation as to the size and the power of these swells. These don't make sport. These are big. I would have to say these are probably close to maybe chest high, shoulder high when it's breaking on the peak itself. Somewhere around there, but the height has us fooled. So, but that's what I would estimate it as based on my limited knowledge of the water. But beautiful. So here is the first place you can come up. Again, not easy. You can see how rough it will be. So if you survive the trip between Shark Hole and here, this is what you then have to climb and get over. So don't fool around. Remember, the words are if you survive. Shark Hole is no fooling around. And I keep on emphasizing that. A lot of people say, man, you told us that already, you told us that already. No, you need to hear it again and again and again, because so many people, I've seen so many visitors and part-time Bajans come to this island, find Shark Hole on a perfect day, give pictures and say, oh, this is so beautiful. Look at us swimming out to the outer reef. However, the next day, the next person comes up here, it's completely different conditions. They think it's calm and peaceful. They go and take a swim, and that is the end of them. So don't fool around, please. All right, again, we're going through the cliff area here. As you can see, there were steps originally going down to this beach. I'll show you in a second. You can see the slabs there that originally were put in place. However, over the years, all that has been broken away. You see here again, I'll show you. So originally, as you can see, those steps led to somewhere. They no longer lead to there. So that whole cliff front section there has obviously gone at some stage or the other, because no one would have put steps there and then had a 12-foot drop off. So let's put it that way. All right, so this is the structure I had mentioned. I hope we don't get a signal issue with these buildings. Walking here, it gave me a good range of 95. Sometimes it went down to 85, which is even better. However, we didn't go over 100, which should be very strong. So hopefully you're seeing all of this here. But this is the property I was mentioning. You can see there are lounge chairs and stuff. It is rental rooms. So you could come here and spend, if you want somewhere really laid back, away from everyone else, and all this beautiful peace and serenity, unless I am out here talking. This is where you can come. You can see they have the tables. I think they're setting up out here with their sod stone with glass on top. I don't know how strong that would be. Hopefully it's perspex and not actually glass. And then, as you can see, there's a pool and lots of different balconies and stuff. I don't know too much about the operations. Look at the glass. We mentioned before about how I couldn't live up here because of the glass with the sea spray on it. Can you see into this place? No, negative. Look, it's not smoked glass. That is glass caused. All that smoking you're seeing is because of the continuous sea spray. So I would have to say they're not officially open as yet, or they're working towards it. A little jacuzzi here in the end, by the way. But I don't know if they are or not, but it doesn't look as though they're fully open, or I would imagine all the glass and stuff would be a lot cleaner than that. If they are open and the glass is not cleaner than that, maybe they got fed up of cleaning it just like I would as well. So I walked up here this morning. I said I'm in the Dres Parish. First of all, coming across the long road to St. Lawrence Castle, because I camped through 6 roads. My intentions were to go and cover somewhere else. But then, of course, I kept hearing in the back of my head the voice of my wife who said, Nick, I would love to see a sunrise. And translated for any husband, that would mean, I want a sunrise and you better give me one. Although she's not here at the moment, I'm not being threatened by not having any food. She will be back, and I know for sure that if I don't do what she would like me to do, that it's going to be a problem. So she's a slave driver, that's all I got to tell you. All right, okay, so let's go on. I hope she's not online still, or she missed that. I don't want her to be on here telling you all any nonsense. I want you all to know the truth from me and not from her. All right, so we came across here. Right there, there's water, it's bagging. I stepped in there. She went a little bit underwater, but no big deal. You know, it's still comfortable. not a problem. Again, as I have on these hikers and stuff, they're pretty much water resistant up to a certain height, unless you go ankle deep or more. All the tongue and stuff is double laced and sewn back into the actual shoe. So even if water does get on the area of the lacings, it doesn't work its way in because that whole area is waterproofed off as well. So yes, I got a good pair of shoes. It lasts me a lot, but you've seen me on these cliffs a long time, so you would know that these are good, strong shoes for sure. All right, so we're gonna stop in by this truck. The reason why we're gonna do that, well, first of all, let me rephrase that because I want to paint the picture for those that can't see too well. We're gonna be stopping by this pristinely kept, immaculately polished and gleaming truck known as the 𝐊𝐈𝐍𝐃𝐍𝐄𝐒𝐒. So any of you that are unable to really see that, if you're vision impaired or have any challenges with your vision, you will know for sure that is absolutely a brilliant looking shine coming off of that. I mean, definitely the cleanest and best maintained vehicle in the world. So you could take that from me, because you know I don't tell lies. I don't fabricate the truth. It's always the truth all the time. All right, so a little bit of information here. I may go around here, but I don't really want to do it because I'm so frightened for the signal. But I may trot around this here. But let's tell you about this here quickly before we lose signal. Hopefully we're not doing it already. All this wall here is made up of rubble coral stone. It's all put together and done and put to this height here to give a wind block. Up here, as I mentioned before, today is very, very light winds, but majority of the time up here gets continuous strong gusting winds. I should say continuous strong and gusting winds, because they're two totally different things. So this has been done so that the property is sheltered from the wind and the elements, sea spray as well, because that would do some blockage of sea spray and stuff. However, the whole front area is open. It looks to me as though it's changed the front area, because if I remember, I would have to look back, but if I do remember correctly, they had wood front. If I remember correctly, I think they had wooden bars across front or something like pickets, but right now I see them big stones. So I'm not sure if that is my memory slipping or if it's another place I'm confusing it with. I will look back at my vlogs and see. You don't have to do it. I'll do it for myself. So don't look back at my vlogs and then come back and tell me, Nicholas, man, that was always that same way. Because I will look for my own self, okay? You don't need to tell me that. And you definitely don't need to publicly air it either. Remember, I'm always correct. I don't make errors. All right, so the front section has been left low, as you can see. That way then you can see out of the homes and thing. We got to take a little trot run here. And if we do lose signal, or we do drop in signal quality, forgive me. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping I'll get around the building quick enough. I'll stay far enough away from it, hopefully. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was wood originally. So I'm seeing a lot of stuff going on. I'm seeing some wooden gate out here and thing as well too. So I would have to think that I may be correct, but whatever. It doesn't make any difference right now. What they are doing is they brought these huge, massive coral stones out here, forming a wall, natural wall. So this property is absolutely beautiful. I would say beautiful. I love the way they lace these rocks together and stuff. They haven't painted the concrete or the cement white, which is something that looks nice, but I like the natural look. So when it starts to weather in and stuff, it should be quite beautiful. Yeah, this whole front section is new for sure. This was definitely a picket across here before. Let's give you some information, real estate information. I will read it for you very briefly in case you can't make it out. It's villa for rental, 6 bedroom, 4 bath. Contact 1-647-284-4551. And then you see Ocean Mist Villa at lookout.com. Sorry, that's Outlook. Jeanette, where are you? You could have just had you could have just put me in beer trouble. I'm so glad you're not here. So you can look back up there, freeze frame it for yourself and see the exact thing, because I may have called it wrong just now. I did correct myself, but you may have heard me wrong. All this is new structure. This was not here originally, so they've gone into even a stronger, more natural finish. Really, really beautiful. I love how this is done right around the entire property. I'll give you a quick glimpse of it. See if we can get a little closer and give you a better view. But if you could see inside, lovely property. The entire front section is all glass, so you'll be able to look straight out at the ocean at all times. Really beautiful. Again, you can see a little hint of sea spray on the glass. Not as bad as the one above, but you can see the hints of sea spray on here. Again, this wall will help considerably. It'll give you privacy. The hedging on the inside is set back from the actual wall itself, so even if you were standing at the wall looking in, the hedging is giving you more privacy. So I'd have to say this is a beautiful place if you want to come and hang out for a little while. Maybe I don't know if it's your maybe a honeymoon or something, or just come and spend some time down here, because if you come to Barbados with your partner, it's always your honeymoon. If you live here, It is your honeymoon year round, 365 days a year, and sometimes we have to throw in the extra one to make it 366, but it's still the honeymoon spot. All right, we take a little better look there. We're not going any further down the cliff. I'm standing on top of some boulders here, so hopefully the signal is getting to you well. I see a lot of thumbs ups and stuff on the screen. I thank you so very much for them. They're a jolt of energy for me whenever I see it. I'm going a little higher now, a little higher elevation. Talk a little bit what we're seeing distance. We're going to carry on that another day. That's Belair, great house, not this one here, the one in the center of the camera. From there you're going to find Deborah's Beach. You're going to find Beachy Head, and then you can work your way around the actual into what's known 𝐶𝐕𝐄. Well, that's one of the names. It's Shanty or 𝐶𝐕𝐄, which is hardly existing now. You have to really come from the caves on the second Crane Beach, and then beyond that you're seeing the big structures, the continuous structures. That is the Crane Beach Resort. I am seeing no sargassum in the water. I am seeing no sargassum on the beaches where I'm looking now in the far distance. So I would assume that right now it is absolutely perfect conditions in the island for you to come and enjoy some of these beaches on the south and the east, where generally would have some sargassum at this time of the year. We can go to the furthest point here, so we're going to see our farewell. Again, hold on a minute, I did say I was going to show you something in this house here. If anyone is seeing this area that is a concern or associated with this property, understand we are doing a real estate job for you right now. We're going to walk up here. I don't see any private property, and I know they're not going to have a problem, so we're going to step up onto the upper level. We're not going to go any closer in the upper level because I'm sure they have their cameras and stuff, but I want you to see how beautiful this property is. You would not have seen this pool from the out where we were. You wouldn't have had a good in-depth look at it. You could see all the wicker furniture on the inside looking beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. You can also see scaffolding. They're doing some painting and stuff, so all getting ready for the season. A lot of money goes into this property here continuously. And as you can see, the wall above, security and also protection from the elements. So the winds and sea spray that you would normally get will be sheltered off there. And you can also see from the plants on the inside, they're not really affected by the actual blowing of the wind. The taller coconut tree, yes, but the lower stuff, no. So it's definitely a good wind block as well. So this is one of your options. Beautiful property. You've seen how many bedrooms there are. So get some friends together, come and visit Barbados, come and enjoy some of this cliff area, which I would call really natural and beautiful. Thank you for joining us this morning. Unfortunately, as I said, my wife is not able to be with us. She's not here in the island. She's overseas right now doing some follow-ups and stuff. I can just let you know that. That's it. Everything is fine. Just making sure that everything is fine. You know, they always say prevention is the best cure. Us men don't know nothing about that. We have to get so sick, so violently sick before we go to a doctor or a dentist or something like that there. But, you know, just remember, prevention is the best cure. No wait till something happens to deal with it. Get it before it starts to really happen. Beautiful. Cliffs again. Beautiful. Watching the sprays out here when it's really big. Stunning. Absolutely breathtaking. I'm going to give you a circle of love from here. Let you take in what the atmosphere is like. Please put on your darker makers. We are not liable for any eye damage caused in our vlogs. So put on your darker makers before we start this turn. If you don't have them, I will tell you when to open. Well, no, it's a circle of love, so I can't tell you anything. So you will suffer if you do not put on your darker makers. Let's go. Here we go. All right, so that is your view of this section of Barbados. This is just a minute piece of the coastline of Barbados, but hopefully you've enjoyed the piece of Serenity. I hope that my operatically trained baritone voice has charmed you and has calmed you, has put you in a nice and relaxed mode. If not, I'm sorry about that. I did my best to make sure that I calmed you with my romantic and lovely voice. I'll calm you with my absolute charm and beauty and handsomeness. Anyway, I hope you all had a great day. Thank you for joining us again. We're the Journey 246. This is our journey in Barbados, hence the Journey 246. We have thousands of people that walk the journey with us, and all of us are similar minded. We all just want peace and happiness and love and kindness. Just taking the edge off of life, you know, that is the important thing. You know, life is challenging. If we can find the beauty in it, which we have to continuously look for sometimes, we can then make the day much better, no matter how bad it is. If you're living as we do by the line or the statement that everything happens for a reason, you will understand that life is much simpler that way. You have no control over anything but yourself. So if something happens, understand there's a reason for it. Whether you know the reason or not, there's a reason. Not only when it's good, when you win a lotto, or when you get into a different class at school or anything like that. They're really related to everyone. We have a lot of younger generation on here as well. It's not just a lot of older people like me, or even more mature people like Jeanette. There are a lot of younger people. Sorry. There are a lot of young people on here, so we just relate to them as well. So remember that life is rough and life is beautiful. There's an even balance we must find. And in order to find that balance, we have to always seek the beauty. So the day is either extremely beautiful or the day is just beautiful. It's no longer a bad day. We don't believe in bad days now, but we try not to anyhow. We don't let things that are happening tomorrow or yesterday and deprive us of our peace and serenity and joy and love that we have today. Remember, when you're feeling down and stuff, you really can't give anything positive to anyone. So if you're feeling that way, you find someone positive and let them give it to you. When you're feeling positive and stuff, you give it to them. It's a to and fro. It's called sharing. It's called honoring and loving your neighbor or your family or friends as you honor and love yourself. And you know, enough of my beauty right now. If you want more pictures of me, you can send me an email or send Jeanette actually. Send Jeanette because she's our email and tech person. You can annoy her with requests for photos of me. We have people that have taken every picture out of their house and put my picture in them. We also had people that have replaced every mirror in their house and put my picture in it, so that every time they look in a mirror, they're seeing a handsome person. So if you would like some of those photos and you want different ones, we have thousands of them. You can ask us for them, and we just let us know the room it's going in, and we can hand pick it for you. And you folks have a blessed day. Enjoy life. If you can't laugh today and you can't smile today, something is going wrong. You need to readdress your day, because remember, you can start your day at any time. You know, we don't have to start your day when we get out of bed. If we have had a rough get out of bed and we're getting up in the morning, we can find somewhere that's quiet and peaceful and serene and start our day again. Sit there, absorb it, suck it all in, enjoy the beauty, find the beauty, and then go face the world again. I can promise you the world and the day will certainly not be as sharp as it seemed before you went and sat there and took that time for yourself. Remember, you need me time. You can't be just dedicating yourself to work, and then when you're off of work, go home and dedicate yourself to homework. You need time for yourself. You need to be able to organize your day and put your things in priority and find out what you can get rid of so you can spend some time by yourself. If you don't have time by yourself, you cannot recharge, you cannot reset. And everyone around you, including the same people that are going to quarrel with you for taking time out by yourself, will then be happy, because you're going to be a happier person in a better frame of mind, and your energy that you're giving off is going to be more positive. So find your place. It doesn't have to be along beautiful cliffs such as Barbados or along beautiful beaches or in the sea. It can be in the middle of a park. It can actually be in the middle of a housing complex. Sit down, find something, shut your eyes, find your peace, find your serenity. Have a good day. Share your love with everyone. Remember, we're doing that. We're hopefully that the love that we're sharing with you will be regenerated from you onto others, so we can spread our EMC ripple of love. Remember, we're going to be doing that cancer walk coming up shortly, Walk for Cancer for the Cure. That will be done live. We will be interacting with everyone from the starting line. We will be interacting with people along the route. You know me, I am so fit, I don't want anybody to be left in my dust, so I will probably just stop in certain areas. And they're not to breathe, they're just so that I can talk to other people. I'm not saying doing the whole walk, I'm just saying that we're going to be doing what we can to bring you the peace and love and happiness of those that we come in contact with. Have a blessed day. Find your peace, find your happiness, share your love. See you all later, and thanks for joining us. Remember, we're the Journey 246. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Put on your notifications, because we want your company when we walk along these cliffs. Have a good day.